Fumilayo. Welcome, Chukuka. Okay. So I'd like to welcome tonight my speakers. So first of all, Fumilayo Ige, CFA, is Senior Investment Officer at Coronation Insurance PLC. Good evening, Fumilayo, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Hi, good evening, Ayakami. It's great to be here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, okay, I also have Chukwuka Edoziono, CFA, he's investment banker at Chapel Hill, Denham. Welcome, Chukwuka. You're muted though.
Thanks for having me. Good evening, Ayo. Kunle.
You're welcome, Chukwuka. All right, welcome, welcome to this session. You know, I can't say welcome to class anymore. It's welcome to it's welcome to this session,
That was
right?
then. That was back then.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that was back then. Let's even talk. Let's even talk
Yeah.
about that. How does it? How does it feel now that you have your life back? Before you want to go first.
I can attend parties now. I mean,
Uh-huh.
last year I literally probably okay, I attended some weddings. Maybe that was after the exam, but I mean
Hmm.
from March to like August, no,
Yeah,
nothing,
I can
zero.
imagine.
I have my weekends back now, so yes, I'm very available for everything.
Good, 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 good. I mean, and it's yes, the exam is a jealous lover, but it's a sacrifice with a timeline, isn't it? It expires at a certain time when you've given it your all, right? So, Chukuka, what's happening on the other side of the chatter?
Well, uh, as there's this theory, the Parkinson's law that says that work expands to fill up the available time. So even
That's
though
true.
I'm not going to exam,
Hmm.
the other
Other things now just jostling for that time. Yes, that's true. Because you are here, human being, right? And of course, you have there are all kinds of there are various parts to life, right?
from
And then it's time
go
to
to the
pick up
done.
those things.
Yes.
That's true.
So
Completely. Thank you very much. So, I mean, so let's meet you. Let's meet you. Let's meet you. Let's just introduce yourself. And I always like to start from the beginning. For me, is why did you opt for a career in finance and investment? So, alongside your introduction tonight, just tell us why. Why finance? Because I believe it's first principles. If you must have a strong why for taking these exams. If you don't have a strong why, at some point you will ask yourself questions like, who sent me this work? Why am I doing this thing? Why am I taking these exams? If your reasons are not clear from the beginning, you are likely to drop the ball at some point, right? I'm sure you agree with me on that. So in addition to introducing yourself tonight, I'd like you to tell us, why did you opt for a career in finance and investment? All right, and of course, in addition, why the CFA charter anyway? Right. So let's start with you, Fumila. What do you say?
Okay, yes, I agree. Thank you. So yes, my name is Funmi Ige, and so interestingly, I studied food science in
Mhm.
university. So my entry into finance wasn't the conventional one.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I studied food science. I didn't have any background in accounting or anything. So
Hmm.
for me, and funny thing is, I wasn't even working in finance. So for me, I would say. I had a lot of people around me that were into finance, and we're always having this discussion, and they're always talking about, oh, interest rates movements, macroeconomy. They were always talking about different things. And I would always research, okay, what does this mean? I really want to know more. I'll ask questions. And I started engaging them further. After a while, I was like, okay, I weighed my options and I was like, okay, I think I want to transition into finance, but I need to find something like a program, a certification that is good. So, I mean, I asked them, I engaged my friends, obviously, and I mean, they recommended the CFA program. I did my research. I saw, okay, I know a lot of people told me that thing is very hard, though. Are you sure you want to do it? I was like, yes, I could give it a try. Yes, I know a lot of people. You have people that are like, are you sure you want to go into this? And I was like, yes, I could give it a try. Because I have to admit, it was challenging initially because particularly for me, I had to build up foundational knowledge in finance and
Yeah.
accounting. You're talking about someone that didn't even know debit or credit. It was literally, I wasn't even working in finance. And
Mhm.
yes, so I did my research, and given that I didn't have so much background, I decided, okay, I can't do this on my own. I can't read on my own. I actually need a tutorial center. And coincident and good
Mm.
thing is New Frontiers was actually where I registered for my level one. And I mean all through for all three levels. So yes, I got into the program. I started classes even before I registered for my exam. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let me first pay for class. And if I understand what is going on a bit, then I can commit. So I took classes for, I think, about a month before I
Mm.
eventually registered for the program. And
Mm.
currently, I work in investment management, and I mean the CFA has played a huge role
Mm.
into, particularly for me, transitioning into finance and getting like my first role and even my current role in finance.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always applying the knowledge I gained throughout the program in my day
Mm.
to day. So yes, yeah, that's a little bit about me. Yeah,
Excellent. Thank you very much for me. Thank you. Thank you
you're
very much.
welcome.
And when you talk about this transition, it's just beautiful how when you hear about this transitioning story, about how a lot of charter holders move from extremes, I mean, backgrounds that are completely unrelated to finance, and then they've been able to move in successfully. It's one of the two examples I like to give like that in my years of working with candidates is the one where we have a medical doctor on our faculty. That's a big extreme. Yes, we have a medical doctor on our faculty, and when you're on our faculty, it means not only have you passed the exams, now you are teaching. What that really means is, knowing your stuff is one thing, but then passing it across is another thing entirely. If you've gone beyond knowing it to being able to pass it across, then it means you clearly understand it. And that's why there's nobody out there that can take the CFA. And I'm grateful that the minimum requirement is a requirement that practically everybody can meet up with. Right, it's not the requirements to join. It's not a big deal to join the right. It's like the doors are open to everybody. It's then whether you be able to follow through, right? That is the issue. Then there's the example of someone who came straight from law school, who is also on our faculty right now, straight out of law school. That it can't get worse than that. Straight out of law school. How do you hope to cope with quantitative methods? How do you intend to cope with FSA, or I mean fixed income, right? Derivatives, economics, right? But then I'm talking faculty level today. So that means not only have they mastered this thing, they're able to pass it across. So yes, it's a very beautiful one. Thank you very much, Mila, because we need these backgrounds to help us. It is the law of first principles. You don't forget first principles. If you remember first principles, it helps you. It helps people find a strong why, right? To why they are doing what they're doing. So thank you very much for that. Chukuka, let's hear yours.
Okay, please, I hope you can hear me very well.
It's fine. We can.
Okay, all right. In my case, I'm the polar opposite of Kumi because I, from secondary school, I was in commercial class,
Mm,
then university, I studied accounting, then after I finished from university, I had to write ICANN because I thought, oh, this is the next step. If you study accounting, definitely you should write the ICANN to solidify your your step in the profession. So after
mhm,
writing I was looking for the next step. I mean, what else can I be doing when I'm done with exams? I have so much time. So I was speaking to with someone close to me before, around that time, around that season. And he said, "Oh, why not try CFA?" I said, "Oh, what's that?" He said, "Oh, it's a finance exam that has a global application, a global reach." So I started level one. It was exciting because it had a wider scope than what
Mm-hmm.
did. I can showed me. So I was excited at the challenge. So for me, the whole experience is just a way of challenging myself that, oh, if I hear that this thing is tough, which that's a testimony across the average person. They'll tell you, oh, this exam is very tough. You need to be very serious. You must devote your time, blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, this sounds like a challenge. So I took the challenge. I said, let me study for the exams. So back then, I didn't even know about New Frontiers because
Mm-hmm.
what I saw on the CFA website is that the exam is self-paced. I said, okay. So, and I wrote level one, passed level one in 2022, level two in 2023. Then for level three, I was unable to write in 2024 because of a payment issue I had. But I was trying to write last year, and then I came across. I decided that, okay, since I didn't go for classes in year one, I mean level one and level two, let me try go for classes level three, and I did. And I went to New Frontiers last year. Classes began in April, if I remember correctly. So yeah, so it's been a very insightful journey, and I'm very happy that I actually went to New Frontiers because it was a it told a difference. So different for me because beyond passing the exam, there's some things that I took home with me. And as for the why, well, the why was just I heard it was tough. I said, let me go.
Okay. I think the network's a bit unstable. Okay, but am I audible? I need to be sure it's not coming from my end.
Yes, you're audible. I think
Okay,
we're
so,
listening for a bit.
okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, that I mean that's beautiful. And one of the things I picked from what Chukwuka was saying is how even though the requirements are there for people to get into becoming charter holders and all that easy, and it's not like there's a heavy demand, right? Apart from when you join the program and then you begin to, make the investments and all that. It looks like there's still a lot of work in creating the required awareness, right, for people out there to really know about the charter. I mean, this is you saying it was when you interacted people at the office where they were talking about this, talking about it. It's indicative, right, that of the fact that there needs to be a lot more, awareness, for people to understand what the CFA charter is, what it's all about, how they can get in quickly, and sometimes they don't have to, be a part of what the world. So thank you very much. Now let's get into level three. This is it tonight. Let's you say your biggest memories were for level three. What are your biggest memories? We'll talk about how to pass exams. We haven't got into that. But what do you think about level three? What are your biggest memories? And any of you can go first, really. What are your biggest memories? I like to hear.
Wow, okay. Let me go first.
Mm.
Okay. Sorry, Chikuka, you were saying something.
No, I said you go first. As you've been going first.
Okay. So, I think when I think of my level three, one of the things that comes first to me is community. Because I have to say my community helped me a lot for my level three. I'll say community and accountability. People, I mean, one thing New Frontiers did for me was to give me access to a community of like-minded professionals. I met Chukuka also in level three. I also met like other people in level three, and we just had this closely knitted community where even after class, I could reach out to someone and tell them, okay, I don't understand this. What is going on? And we'll have this quick Google Meet, we'll trash it out, and then we go. I had people that will call me and like, okay, have you done this? How are you feeling? Have you done your mock? I had people, so level three was different, given that we had you have the structured response. And it's
Mm-hmm.
different. It's
Yeah,
different from the multiple choice.
true, very
So
true.
yes, and it's very judgmental, like it's very, very
Mm.
subjective.
Yeah,
So even when you take your mock, for me, I had people I could reach out to like, okay, take, please help me mark my mock because I know if I mark it, maybe I may be too nice. And
you're
but for me, I
biased.
think yes, exactly. I may be biased. So for
Mm.
me, one of the things I think about when I think of my level three is the community that I built that I have access to. And funny enough, even after our exams, we
Yeah,
still keep in touch. I can call Chukwuka
yeah,
if I need something. I can reach out to any other person. I mean,
yeah.
we still keep in touch. I mean, even after classes, we keep in touch and we're still pushing each other there. So yes,
Thank
Chukwuka.
you.
All right,
Yeah.
thanks.
I hear this all the time, and I think it's priceless. You really can't put any amount on that value, right? It's priceless to have that number of people headed in the same direction as yourself, right? In the same room, it's can be something difficult, to do. And if you say that's your biggest memories, then that's what it is, right? It must mean that there's something there for you. Chukuka, level three, your biggest memories.
Yeah, thanks actually. Thanks for me. So as I was listening to Fumi speak, I was just thinking about how my experience was for level one and level two. And for me, back then, it was just supposed to study, go for the exam and pass. That was it. But level three was different because I was now in community of people who are going the same direction.
Mm-hmm.
So the most outstanding thing for me level three also I have to go second community because I remember my first when I was in class for the first time and then we had to introduce ourselves, how our experience has been so far. I just heard different stories of people. Some people who wrote level two, let's say in 2009, and also at level three, 2005. I'm like, what? For so many years of gap. And then just hearing stories of people wrote level three maybe twice or three times, but then they are not giving up, not to go for it again, and then they eventually pass. So that those stories just give the whole exam a different context. So it's not just an exam; it's like an experience that I would have missed out of if I hadn't gone for class. So, and this was also my objective. I don't want to just pass level three. I want to pass it well, and passing it well was it meant that I should when I'm celebrating the exam, I should be celebrating with people. I mean, not just my family members, but or my friends, but people that have been understanding the same struggle. We've gone through level one, two, three together, and succeeded eventually. And that it came through because when we had the chapter award ceremony, I saw Fumi there. I saw all my guys from me frontiers. I'm like, this is so beautiful because we were in class together, we went for the exam together, and now we're getting each other together. So the best thing for me for the day was also community because I can't trade that for any other thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Again, it's priceless. It's priceless, and it's if you both are mentioning it, then it's value that you've definitely gotten in that respect. Okay, let's get into it tonight because of the constructed response questions. If you've been taking the multiple choice question thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
For passing the level three exams, right? What would you say are the optimal strategies or the tips for passing the level three exams? That's where we are right now. Let's talk about those optimal strategies because at the end of the day, we just want to pass exams. We'll have the other conversations later. The value that that the community has is in the fact that exams have been passed. The value and the fact that the classes even run in the first place is that the exams have been passed, right? So what do you think, what would you say are the optimal strategies and the tips, right, that will help a level three candidate? Because then I have a lot of them right now coming into the program. They will start in about 1 month. They want to start on the right foot, right? And just pass exams. So what would you say are the optimal strategies and tips for passing the level three exams? So yeah, let's go from there. What do you say?
Okay. Yes. So I think the first thing for me, before I even go into like the exam tips and all, would be consistency.
Hmm.
So for me, from April, I think we started April 5, I remember vividly. So from April to when we wrote the exam in August, I was fully locked in. I was consistent. I mean, there are some days that I didn't meet my study targets, but to the best of my abilities, I was consistent with my classes. For me, one of the things I did was I take class Saturday and Sunday. That's I think 9 to 6. Then during the week, I read what we did in class. Sometimes I read ahead and solve questions. So I was doing that week in, week out. Sometimes, most times, actually, I was ahead of what we were doing in class, just to be sure that I'm finishing. As we're finishing a reading, I'm also finishing and I'm solving the questions. And I know that I truly understand what was going on. And maybe Chuku can remember, but I am a very, very detailed person. I know they used to make fun of me. So I used to have all those notebooks. I have a detailed,
I
I used to
remember
make
very
notes.
well.
My notes are, I mean, I used to make detailed notes in
Hmm.
class. Yes, I write a lot. In short, my level three, I have about 6 notebooks for level three.
Whoa.
So yes, I made detailed notes because I just wanted my revision to be very, very seamless. So aside from classes, one of the things when we go into the exam strategy itself, one of the first things that we have to note about level three, master the command words. When you see words like justify, determine, calculate, because it's a structured response, you need to know exactly what to give them. You can know something and you're giving them the wrong thing. So when you see command words like that, you need to know what do they want. And one way I was able to like deduce that was to do a whole lot of practice questions and also review mock. You'll see that I didn't say do mock. I said review mock because I know doing mocks itself takes a whole lot of time. So I just started reviewing them. I'll look at questions, then I'll just go straight to the answer. I'll look at how they answered it, particularly the essay-based ones. I'll look at how they answered it, down to how the type of English, if I may say, how they structured it, and try and rephrase it. Okay, if I want to answer it next time, maybe I should phrase it this way. So I really reviewed a whole lot of mocks, CFA mocks, the past mocks, a whole lot of mocks. We had like a shared folder where we had access to like a whole lot of resources. So I was able to like review particularly the structured response because I know, I mean, I'm familiar with the multiple choice and the structured response was what was new. Then I've mentioned consistency and discipline. So for me, like I said, I took classes April to July. I think classes ended like first week in July or I think June. All I know is we had like 1 month to exam. So once classes ended, I was also done with my reading. So that 1 full month. I was fully locked in. I was just solving as much questions day in, day out, and with my notes, very detailed notes. So I was solving as much questions. The blue box questions,
Hmm.
yes, yes. So I think I solved almost everything. Someone extracted it. I think Chukwuka, you were the one, right? Thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that. So we have this we extracted all the questions from the curriculum and the answers. And so for that 1 month, I was basically solving those questions as well as the mock questions. That was all I was doing for that 1 month. But like I said, consistency. That's very, very, very important for level three. Okay, that's for me.
Excellent, excellent. So you talked about Working in France is enough time, is actually enough time for the classes to happen and for someone to pass their exams, right? The blue box questions as well, extracted everything. I've had this talk about the blue box questions that they are that it's important to look
Oh,
at these
yes.
things, yeah, and really
Yes,
look at it.
and I would just even like to add something. So for me, I read curriculum all levels, level one, level two, level three. So I think reading the curriculum is also very important to level three, the actual curriculum itself.
Is that are you calling on?
Hi, Ayokunle. I don't think I can hear you. Chubuka, can you hear him?
No, I can't hear you, but I can hear you. Me, I've said everything I wanted to say. I've said everything. I have nothing else to add. That curriculum is very important. Like just studying the curriculum,
Yeah, so that curriculum is
that's the
important,
key.
but
That's the key for it.
Go ahead, keep saying it. So I think I'm back now. I think
Um,
my time.
yeah,
Sorry, my
yeah.
internet.
So I was saying that for me, I said everything I wanted to say because I mean, you think I like everything
Mm,
that she has said is actually true. The curriculum, spend time there, get work examples, blue boxes, because
mm,
in the introductory aspect of the curriculum, they state
yes.
specifically that all the exam questions are based on the things that have been discussed in the curriculum and the questions
Mm,
that we solve. So
mm,
when I saw that I started reading on January 6th last year, and I saw that there. I said, okay, I have to really pay attention to these blue boxes. So
mhm,
that's why I extracted everything and sent to me. This able should actually look at this thing, understand the questions and
mhm,
how it is solved, because that's where I'm going to take the question from the exam, and that's what happened. So curriculum blue boxes plus everything you said about knowing the command words, practicing, reviewing mocks and everything. Yeah, that's what I would say.
mm. When you say command words, what do you mean?
Well, so as Fumi said, the command there are verbs that describe that's questions. So for example, they might
Mhm,
say after you give a case study, you now say justify whether
mhm,
this actual location approach is it should be used. To justify is not just a give example or argue for it. There's a command list of command words that CFA publishes that
mhm,
describes every single command word and what they're expecting from you. For example, they will say compare means you should give similarities and differences, but contrast
mhm,
means you give just differences. So if you're using just your English mind to answer those questions, it might not favor you. So what
mhm.
as we mentioned, what you should do, review. So there's a list of command words that CFA publishes alongside the glossary and some other information. So
Excellent.
that's command word, that PDF, yes, you read it. Each word has what they're expecting from
Thank
you.
you.
Calculate, yes, all of those things.
I think that's it. I think this is very important tonight, and I hope people in our audience are listening because people on this audience are people who in our audience are people who intend to write the level three exam. So I mean for compare and contrast, for example, that's serious. So compare would mean stating similarities and differences. Contrast would mean focusing on differences alone. Was that what you said?
Yes, according to the command word, that's what they're expecting.
Excellent.
Exactly.
No, and that is that one is enough to trip anybody and make anybody fall if you did not check what that means. So and I think that's important. And even now that there's still about a month to classes, I think those are the kind of things that level three candidates need to start paying attention to. You can use this period to really look at those things. That's important because typically who reads glossaries? I mean, who reads glossaries really? When you get a book, who reads glossaries? Plus, and I like the fact that Fumila had also mentioned that even Chukwuka has also attested to it about the use of language. You can't assume that you understand the English language. Just go and find out what it means. And it will make a big difference. It will make a significant difference. In fact, I've had even talking with level one candidates at some point, they've told me before. I remember clearly now, somebody who has moved to level two right now, who has passed this exam, say that the reason why he didn't do well on the test, when and all that was that, and when he was checking out questions was that there was a way the English was just sounding that, and I said, that's it. I'm glad we are picking it now and not in the exam hall, right? You need to go and resolve that issue. I think these command words we are talking about tonight are very important, and I think that candidates, if I were a level three candidate right now, getting ready to start classes in March, in this 1 month, those are the things to familiarize oneself with. It's very important to get on these things, and I'm sure the people on the call are paying attention to. So there are command words. So there is justify, there is compare, there is contrast, there is calculate, which is how even the way the L what do they call it now? What do they call it now? The
LES.
yes,
Yes.
has been structured. The LOS is where there is a command word, there is something that the LOS requires that you pay attention to. If the LOS only says to calculate, and you are learning calculations under that area, you are
Exactly.
pretty
That's
much
true.
wasting your time.
LOSs are very important. So
Yes, yes,
yes,
yes,
yes,
yes.
very important.
You
Those
would
words
be
get to
wasting a lot of
focus.
time. Yeah, please, yes. It's and because of the brevity of time, you do not again the number one enemy when it comes to the CFA exam is time. You really don't have the time. So you want to make the most of every single moment that your 2 hours here, your 3 hours here, your 1 hour there must really count. And clearly what you're saying is the use of paying attention to what really matters, understand those command words. I think that will that will pretty much solve the problem. We've had this kind of session before where somewhere a candidate had told us that the reason why many candidates have failed exams in the past is because they were to make the most of AI, for example. If you won't know how to make good research, if you do not know how to use really, really am I audible?
Hmm.
Hello, I'm so sorry. I think internet threw me out. Am I audible now? And okay, good, good. So I was saying just before the internet tripped and said, yes, it's important to pay attention to these command words. But then, if there are any additional tips, how did you study? How were you studying, right? It's I think people don't fail exams because they didn't prepare, particularly the CFA exams. But I think people fail because they didn't prepare strategically. I think you have to be strategic about your preparations. And I'm interested in how you studied. Can we talk a bit about that tonight? Any of you can go first. Yeah, you are smiling. You wish
Chikuka,
I'm
do you want to go first?
Okay, let me just go first. So
okay.
as I said earlier, so the focus of your study should be on the curriculum.
Mm,
Yeah, it's very possible that you use other means like other prep providers. But I'm a curriculum guy. So especially I remember very clearly I started reading around like 7 p.m. on January 1625. I started studying for the exam and I focused on the curriculum first, that's on the LOSs. So I like to read chronologically. And I'll start from reading one to reading two, all the way to the end of the reading. So I study first, then at the end of the study session or the reading, I practice the questions that's the end of chapter questions. So I do that and I go to the next topic like that. So all the way through to the end of curriculum. So by month four, when I was doing that, I had to now start revising what I'd studied earlier in the year to, to make sure I cycle through them to keep in my memory. So once I finished that process of studying the reading, then finishing the question at the end, then I focused on practicing questions. Afterwards, after reading and practicing, then focus on the mock exams. So unlike for me, I don't have to did that thing. I actually practiced with mock exams. Like I blocked out like hours in the weekend, and I did the exam. And afterwards I graded it. Initially I was very good person. I was grading it to make sure that I don't over score myself. But the base of my study was reading the curriculum, understanding, making my own notes. So I don't know, I can't do without making notes. Some people
mhm,
can, but I cannot. So just make notes, and that those notes eventually form the, the material that I will use for my review. So
yeah.
when I'm reviewing, I don't want to review the whole curriculum again. So I just review my
Mhm,
notes, which is summarized. I put my own words. So that's essentially what I did. Then plus of course classes. So in classes I don't jot, or I jot some things that help me reinforce what I've learned already. So
mhm,
that reading strategy plus practice just made a very good combination. But the
excellent.
focus, even in classes, you don't really read curriculum line by line. It's expected that you have already read curriculum, so you just come to
Mhm,
discuss and trash out any basic items. But the focus was just curriculum and practice
mhm.
question, review on until the exam day.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for me.
Okay. So funny enough, my strategy was actually quite similar to Chikuka because like I said, I'm always making notes and I read curriculum all through. So although I started reading a bit late, I started reading, I
Hmm,
think March.
okay.
Yes, just before classes started. So I reading March. Yes, I can't read also. I don't know how to read without writing. So I read the curriculum, I make my own notes, I solve end of chapter question. There is no way I'll tell you I'm done with the reading and I've not solved that end of chapter question. And
Yeah.
I don't just solve it. I solve it if I'm getting 80% and above, I review it and I'm confident that yes, I'm done with this reading. But if I'm getting below, I know that there's an issue somewhere. So
Hmm,
I'll go back, I'll look at my weak points before I then move on. Um I solved a lot of questions, I won't
hmm,
lie.
hmm,
So I also did mock. I did timed mocks, but I think my focus more was just like reviewing the questions. So I did the CFA mock, the one that was provided, so the one and two, but I did review a whole lot of other mocks that, I mean, prior, I think 2020, 2021, I reviewed all of those ones. I didn't necessarily time myself. I because I was like, okay, if I can know what to answer, yes, how, especially how to answer it. So yes, read coming to class for me also wasn't exactly like it was more of discussing what I've read. That's on my own part because sometimes I try and read ahead of the class,
Yeah.
or maybe sometimes I know, and thankfully you used to send tables. That's I think during the week, I think on Wednesdays. So I know that okay, this week we're starting this topic. So I'll just try as much as possible to touch base with the topic. And sometimes if I get stuck, it's wonderful. On Saturday, I'll bring my problem. I got stuck here because I don't understand this and I don't understand this. And I mean, I'm able to get more
Yeah.
clarity and I'm able to like, okay, this is what it should be. Then yes, class, in short, particularly level three classes, there will be a whole lot of discussions and people asking that, okay, in example, in short, you even have some people quoting curriculum for your lecturer that's in example eight, there's something happened. But
That's
yes,
great.
level three classes can be like that.
Mm.
I mean, I remember there was a particular class and it just seemed like everybody had read it, and I'm like, you people should wait for me. But that's not to like discourage anyone. It's just to show that okay, everybody just really, really wants to pass. Yeah, it would even push you because you'd be like, ah, this one that everybody has read it. Hope I'm not lagging behind like this. I really
Mhm.
should do something about my pace. So it's just to push you really. So yes,
Mm.
studying in short, after the exam, I even gave someone my notes for you to know how comprehensive they were.
Yeah,
I gave my notes.
excellent.
I even have the hard copy really, really detailed.
Mm.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. So it's strategic reading, and that's important. Let me just touch on something. Let my next question touch on something. So yes, we've talked about it at some point, but I want to hear more specifically now. You've spoken about attending classes and all that. I want to ask you. Would you say there's any value in attending classes to prepare for the CFA exams? Do you really think there is value in attending classes? And if it's yes, then what would that be, right? But it's important to just hear from you. What do you say? Fumi, let's go with you first.
Oh, okay. I would say a big yes
Mm,
for me particularly. So, I mean, I'm not even talking about level, not even to talk about level three. For level one, it was of great help to me, great value. So for level three, one of the things that stood out that I would say classes did for me was structure and accountability. Like I said, when I see that timetable, I'm already looking at it that, okay, these are the topics we're doing. So this is what I should know or I should be reading just to be at pace with the class. So it gave me that structure and accountability. Let's say I was taught something last week, it would be at the back of my mind that, okay, I've not revised this, I've not done, I'm lagging behind. So, I mean, we already discussed community and we already spoke about how it's great to be in a community of like-minded people chasing the same goal. That's good. But I mean, for me, yes, structure and accountability.
mm.
Those were what I got from New Frontiers.
Thank you very much. Chukwuka, would you say the same? Same for you?
I'll beg to differ in this case
Mhm.
because I mean I've always been someone that knows how to put stuff together and follow time. So what classes really did for me uh, was that beyond the academic work, beyond studying the
Are
curriculum,
you able to make your
lecturing hard
microphone
and
closer
being
to your mouth?
fast.
It gets clearer when you do.
Can
Okay,
you hear me?
it's better, way better
Can you
now.
hear me?
Thank you.
Okay,
Yes,
so I
way
said
better now.
for
Thank you.
me, the value I got from attending classes is the beyond the exam kind of experience, or beyond. So essentially the real world application. So, the faculty is comprised of people who have deep experience in the financial markets and who have completed transactions that I've never heard of before. So seeing that aspect of finance in Nigeria just help me to see the possibilities that are available. And although some of those experiences are possibly not even available anymore because of the way Nigeria has changed in terms of structural reforms and so on, but just help me see the real world application of the charter. And I remember one time one of the faculty members, he said that CFA changed his life. I'm like, what do you mean? So all of us asking, oh, I explain more. What do you mean by that? He said, don't worry, you understand. Right? So, and now I can understand it a little bit because I've seen, less than how many months we get to charter. I've come into contact with some experiences that I probably would not even have experience if I know if I didn't have that charter. And some of those things I learned them while I was in class, talking to other professionals in other firms, what they do, their approach to work, their approach to risk management, their approach to structuring transactions. So beyond the passing the exam, beyond the academic curriculum, classes gave me real world context beyond my frame of reference. And I really value that because it's still progressing for me till today. So that's my take home.
Thank you very much, Chukwuka. So, I mean, because it's level 3, it's just the conversations are always, very straight, right? So I'm sure some people will have questions for you in the audience, and I see quite a number of folks there who would have questions for you, and I'm very happy to take your questions. But in like 5 minutes, allow me give a very brief presentation. So I'll just allow you, Fumi and Chukwuka, grab water. I'll do a quick presentation to audience online as regards the level 3 exams this year, right? Things you need to be aware of in terms of the exams, which I think will last about 10 minutes. Then we'll be back. Then we'll take your questions and we'll call it an evening, right? So thank you very much, Chuka. And for me, let's allow you to grab water, coffee, or whatever it is, right? Thank you very much. Okay, so I will just share my screen and ask whether you can see my screen. Please confirm that you can see my screen. Can you?
Yes, we can.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So let me just do this quickly. Where I will call tonight. Okay, so this is the agenda for tonight. Thank you guys for listening in. I'm sure we've had a good time and picked a few tips for tonight. We're done with the interviews. I just want to talk about level 3 for 2026, our program for level. I'd like to begin with a review from Segun Ojo. This is the lawyer, the straight out of law school grad I was talking about, who said, excuse me, New Frontiers is the best way to initiate your preparation for the CFA exam. I am a trained lawyer, and thus it didn't matter. I was able to pass level 1, level 2, and level 3, thanks to New Frontiers Learning Center. The tutors are all charter holders. They were very friendly and approachable. Their style of teaching, the concepts is very practical and based on their experience as finance professionals. This in addition to the network of very sound and brilliant individuals we are likely to meet during classes. Learning at New Frontiers was a great experience overall. Segun Ojo, CFA, is one manager at Stanbic IBTC. Of course, if you are in level 3, you understand that CFA exam designation is the most respected and most recognized financial markets and investment credential globally. The exam is the institute is based, CFA is based out of the US. The number of charter holders are growing globally. right? Even though it's extremely few right now. And any in the charter requires that you pass 3 levels of exams, 36 months of qualified work experience, and of course, pledging to adhere to the code of ethics and standards of professional conduct. The CFA program is organized into 3 levels, and this is the third level, right? For level 3, which is what we're talking about tonight, the exam format is vignette supported constructed response questions and vignette supported multiple choice questions, right? So there is what you call the multiple choice part, and there is an essay part for the level 3 exams. The topic areas, right, will include the regular ones, but of course there are specialized pathways, 3 specialized pathways at level 3, which includes private market, private wealth, and portfolio management. The level 3 exams happen just twice a year, unlike the other levels. Level 1, 4 times a year, F-Man, February, May, August, and November. Level 2, Man, May, August, and November. And level 3, FAR, the music note FAR, February and August, right? It's about 30 to 35%. So at the core, everybody still takes about 65 to do, to join. To write, literally construct your response to those questions, which is why you need to be taught and shown how to do it. There is a way to do it, right? The level 3 exams will happen for about 4.5 hours, 2 equal sessions, and with an optional break in between. New Frontiers, in case there's someone here who doesn't know about us, as a story born out of a compelling desire to help is the journey of every candidate in Nigeria and now globally. Founders went through this journey with little or no support of any kind, and they vowed to help turn into reality the dream of every candidate out there. That's the dream of thousand professionals from various parts of the world, and we're asking that you should join the winning team. These are some of our founders. Ayokunle Ojo CFA, Michael Anyima CFA, Banji Faintola CFA, and Olani Ogunbayo CFA. Why New Frontiers? Of course, world-class faculty of leading industry professionals. We've been doing this for 15 years. We have scholarships, discount offers. We have mock exam help, make this journey a worthwhile journey for you. This is Busola Jeje. Busola Jeje was portfolio manager at Cowrie West, now an MBA candidate at Harvard. She's talked about how she passed her exams and level 3 exams at that year in August. Said the journey has been filled with tears, caffeine, sleepless night, panic attacks, but she's grateful to God that she finished all levels at one sitting. Particularly grateful for the solid knowledge learned and how it has positively shaped her career. And give special shout out to New Frontiers and faculty that she's used for all levels of writing the exams. So this is the calendar. In New Frontiers this year, we'll be running just one level 3 class, and that will happen from March to July. Level 1 and 2, we run 2 programs, one from January to April and one from June to October for level 1 and 2. But for level 3, we have just one program from March to July, right? For folks writing whether the August exams or the February exams for the year after. So this is from Folashade Ogunbayo CFA, who works with the World Bank, says the mocks at New Frontiers helped a lot. The feedback was always good to judge preparation level. If you need a prep center where New Frontiers Learning Center is the place, it's unbelievable how many intelligent people 20B, Amodu Tijani Close off Sanusi Fafunwa at Victoria Island, Lagos. And you can just enroll at newfrontierslearning.com/enroll, newfrontierslearning/enroll, right? And if you need to contact us, here is the number to reach out to for anybody on our team, Olawale or Isiaka, or just go to newfrontierslearning.com/enroll, or follow us on LinkedIn at New Frontiers Learning Center, LinkedIn New Frontiers Learning Center. Also, this call we are on right now is happening live on our YouTube page. So, and there are some people watching in from YouTube rather than on this Zoom link as well. So you can, and the recordings will be available almost immediately after this session. So we have a lot of resources as well on YouTube at New Frontiers Learning Center, right? Thank you very much for listening in. So let's get back to you guys, and let's see if you have any questions, and we will take the questions, have the parting words from Fumi and for this evening. So questions, please. You could unmute your microphones, or you could use the raise your hand features, or you could type in the chat. We'll pick your questions, and we'll be able to respond to them. Any questions? Questions from audience? Questions from audience? Feel free, you can unmute your microphone. It's absolutely fine if you want to.
Hi, I have a question.
Good evening, Demi.
Good evening, Akule. Thank you very much for the presentation. Thank you for me. Thank you, Fukuka, as well. It was very helpful. I wanted to ask, with the constructed response questions, how do you know what level of detail to go into when giving the answers?
Okay. Hi, Fumi. Are you there? Did you get?
Yes, I got that. So I think that's why we mentioned the command words. So for instance, now, so for me particularly, I told you that I reviewed a lot of questions. I looked at, okay, so when they say, I think Chukwuka made a mention of compare and contrast. So when they say compare, what exactly do they want? When they say contrast, so for instance, the one that I vividly remember is justify. So when I'm justifying, I'm telling you why this is right. I'm also telling you why the other options are wrong. So I feel when you start seeing examples and other questions, particularly in the CFA curriculum, of how they're answering questions, it will just help you know what level of what are the keywords to include in your response. That's just it.
Thank you very much, Fumi. Thank you. Demi, are you satisfied? Is that fine?
Yes, that's very helpful. Thank you very much.
Microphone?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good
Okay.
evening.
Good evening. Yeah, hi. Thanks again, Fumi and Chukwuka. My question is, when Chukwuka was talking, he mentioned that he thinks that using maybe like the curriculum is very, very important for this level 3. I have always used Kaplan material to prepare for level 1 and level 2. So are you saying that kind of plan wouldn't also work for level 3? Like, are there some things that made you say that? Like, is it that I understand that the curriculum is bulky and it goes like into the details. That's why you're saying that it wouldn't, like, using other material might not work for level 3?
Okay. Unfortunately, Chukwuka has dropped off, but if he's back, we'll make sure that he answers that question. But Fumi, what do you have to say? Curriculum and other versus other resources, level 3.
Okay, so the general consensus, particularly about level 3, and what I would advise is the curriculum is what work best for level 3. we have people that that also read that also used other prep providers, like Kaplan, like I said. But level three was just a really, really different ball game. I mean, we got feedbacks from like our friends and our friends, classmates that also use prep providers, and they were like, "Oh wow, I it seems I'll be using curriculum next. I should have read curriculum, all those kind of talks." So yes, I think for level three, curriculum is very important.
I've never heard it this direct before. Many people are usually a bit tactful when it comes to talking about with what service provider to use, but again, it's maybe at other levels, but I mean, it must be what it is, right? Tonight. So Esther, are you satisfied now? Are you good?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much for
All
that.
right then.
One last thing, please.
Yeah.
You mentioned the grocery list also. Is that in the curriculum, or where can I get that? Where like it explains between compare, contrast, and all that.
Hi,
I
Fuller.
think it should be at the end.
Oh, out of the curriculum.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Thank you.
Right. I think if there's any major highlights tonight, it's those command words. I'm sure that's a game changer tonight. It's powerful to know where those are and to begin to pay attention. I think you should even start paying attention to before classes begin and all that. All right. Yes. Would there be any additional questions? Any other question before we call it a wrap tonight? Level three sessions are always straight to the point. It's just oh, hey, I'm not sure we have any additional questions, so I'd like to release my guest quickly. I'm sure Fumi is still at the office and I want her to go home anytime from now. Okay, so let's do it this way. So, Fumi, tell us what would be your parting words? Now you have time to attend parties, right? So someone walks up to you at a party and say,
So I can attend parties.
"You said, why did you say?" I didn't get that.
Said yes, I can attend parties. I'm no longer seeing you every weekend. I'm free.
Yes, I mean, you sound like I was the one holding you from attending the parties before, not me now. Now you have the chatter, your life is back. So, but so now you're at the party and someone walks up to you and say, "Hey, I saw, I heard you pass the level three exams. I heard you're a charter holder, and I'm beginning my journey into the level three exams." What would be your parting words? What would you say to this person, as we wrap up tonight?
Um, I know this may sound cliche, but
Hmm,
for me, particularly for level three,
hmm,
I would say consistency is key because
hmm,
I spent 5 months preparing for my level three exam, and it was just that consistency that helped me week in, week out. I just stuck. I had my own schedule and I just like followed it. So for me, consistency is key
hmm.
really for this
Yeah,
level three. Just have
thank
to
you.
keep showing up,
Hmm,
and then, I mean, at the end of the day, I
hmm.
got the reward.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And that's it, guys. Just about 1 hour. I think it's been straight on the questions, the experiences, and all the highlights shared tonight. I'm sure that you have more than enough to set out on your journey for the level three, for the final lap of these exams. And at New Frontiers, we are rooting for you and hoping the very best for you, wishing you the very best. Hoping that you will go into the exams and make yourself, make family, make everybody proud, and win that crown you've been running after since your level one days. Thank you very much, Fumi, for making time out to come, and of course, Chukwuka for finding time as well to join us tonight. We are so excited that you came, and we're glad that value has been added again tonight. Beautiful, beautiful session. Perhaps one of the best we've had. The highlights were clear, the direction is clear. Whoever attended this call tonight picked at least one major thing that stands out, and that's what I love about sessions like this. The next time we're going to hold this session, something will stand out again for that audience, and it will always suffice, for passing the exam. So thank you everyone for joining tonight, and I'm wishing you the very best. I look forward to receiving you in classes on the 21st of March, and have a wonderful night rest and a beautiful weekend. Thank you everyone. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Come.
New Frontiers Learning is the #1 tuition center for the CFA exams in Nigeria. Our founders went through their CFA journey with little or no support of any kind. However, they vowed to turn into reality the dream of every CFA candidate earning the CFA charter, irrespective of their backgrounds, finance and non-finance alike. It is this commitment to support our candidates that influences our engagement of a world-class faculty, partnerships, scholarship and discount offers, our online learning management system, and so much more. Our clients' outstanding results across all levels of the exams every year attest to the quality of our top-notch physical and online program in the last 10 years. That's right, we have been impacting the industry for 10 years and have supported about 2,500 professionals in that time space. Register with New Frontiers Learning today.